Good evening, everyone. Today we are here to discuss about mobile marketing strategies for success in e-commerce. As you all know, I'm pretty sure everyone around here would have used a mobile app to buy on e-commerce. So here on the panel, we have a couple of people who would like to introduce. We have Jay from Google. We have John from Xaxis, which is Light Reaction. We have Nuttaputch from DTAC. And we have You Teck from Hotel Quickly. So you see, we have quite a wide variety of people here, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you in understanding what is happening in mobile commerce, what are the new strategies which big companies are using, which existing companies are using in terms of getting the strategies right. So I'll quickly hand over the mic. You can introduce yourselves, and then we take things forward.
Hello guys, as with the morning session, I'm You Teck from Hotel Quickly. I'm the head of performance marketing, and I'm mostly take care of user acquisition, but very recently, actually for the last 1 year, I've been looking into customer activation as well, user activation basically, because in the app world, I've seen a lot of people actually just dropped off the app very easily, and now I don't think it's just a case of trying to buy as many installs as possible. It's about how can you activate these users. So for Hotel Quickly perspective, we offer last minute rooms, and travel is not something you do every day. So activation and re-engagement is something that's very important for us. Yep.
Yeah, Nuttaputch from DTAC. You can call me Chris. I'm taking care of online marketing. It means that the whole digital communication for the company. Under our all communications, digital product is one of our key focus, like DTAC apps, the apps that users can track their balance and do top up or pay the bills. Meanwhile, we also have other apps in our projects because we have our DTAC Accelerate, which is a program that empowers startups, and we have a lot of success cases, and then we also use our communication to support them. Okay.
Hi, I'm John. I'm actually a managing director at Xaxis Thailand. So Light Reaction is actually part of the Xaxis. If you don't know about Xaxis, we're actually part of the Group M company in Thailand and globally. So again, Xaxis was in the market for the past 4 years, 5 years actually. And Light Reaction, we just launched that product in the market last December. So it's a brand new product right from the Xaxis company. Again, I think the core business that Xaxis is focusing on is the fact that we are the largest global programmatic media company. We are also a technology platform, and we actually focus on the audience themselves. Buying the audience for the advertiser, that's what we do. And Light Reaction is basically a mobile-first performance solution.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Jay, and I'm from Google. I think I don't need to go into a lot of what Google does because we do a lot of things, some of which a lot of you are probably familiar with. So what I do is I'm in Google's what's called new business acquisitions team. So my main job is to help advise clients and businesses in Thailand, and for me, especially mobile apps, on how they can use Google's platform in order to market themselves, acquire users, retain users, and make sure that they grow as a company. And so recently, in the past years, we've seen more and more e-commerce companies and mobile apps coming up in Thailand. So us as Google, we're very excited about the opportunity that are coming up in this region.
Thank you, guys. So the first step which we want to do when we get an commerce app or a commerce app which we want to promote is figuring out what are the right UA channels, right? Right now, there are 3 major channels which are dominating the industry. One is mobile advertising with native and banners. Then there's the video, and then there's the social. So you being in the mobile commerce app space, what would you recommend as the first UA channel or a preferred UA channel you would like to start off with?
Well, considering that Jay is actually as on a panel itself, can be a little awkward. But if I will look at UA, right, I really think before I sort of say like which source I would go to, I would say that each channels can be useful. It really goes down to the kind of quality that they bring. But if you ask me like hey, if today you got a new startup, where are you going to look for users? I'll say I'll go for Facebook purely because the segmentation, the depth of the segmentation you can go down to is really, really deep itself. You can really target the kind of users you think would be interesting. So probably Facebook. But then again, if you have that resource, I would say really try out multiple channels because different traffic sources work differently for different product itself. Yeah.
When we talk about channels, yeah, Facebook will be the one of the most successful channels that we are using. But when I have to answer this question, I want to put a little bit in the marketing perspective. I recommend not to go for channels first, but go back to the very basic question: why people didn't download your apps? I think that the questions that people have to answer clearly. Because when we ask about acquisition channel, direct channels, and social channels, we're talking about how to influence people and our customers. And it didn't have a one formula fit everything. Even for everything. The stage of apps, the reason people to use the app, the character of your apps, the functionality, everything, they have a different factors. One app, maybe you can use a Facebook, you can have Facebook app easily because it's very attractive. But for some apps, people see your ad. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't about reaching target. It's about influencing the target. And if you cannot answer the question why people didn't want to download your apps, you cannot find the solutions. Yep.
So interesting point you brought across. So you saying you, as a mobile marketing strategist, you need to know your audience, your target audience first, before you go ahead and build out your marketing strategy.
Yeah, find the target first.
Perfect. So John, you are in the business of knowing what your audience wants, and you're in the business of targeting based on what your audience is and predicting what they are. What do you have to add to this?
Well, I think he's right. I mean, in a way, right? We don't look at the where the audience are. We actually know where the audience are, right? I mean, they're actually everywhere. I mean, we know for the fact that right now, today, right, one audience can basically leverage at least 3 devices, right, across the medium. So again, with the core business that we have, right, we actually have our own proprietary DMP, and it's called Turbine, right? And Turbine, what it does is actually collect the pool of data, right, live data, and then we actually analyze those data, and then we can basically learn the behavior and also analyze their behavior, which is audience behavior in this case, and we therefore can predict, right, what's going to be happen next. So again, under this Axis product, we actually launched the Light Reaction. Light Reaction is all about again, mobile focus. We basically do a mobile engagement, right? So again, back to his point that we don't want to focus more on the kind of like trying to find mass of the install, but we actually focus deeper than that, right? We want to look at how we can basically get to the audience who actually install the mobile, but basically never use it after the first time they open it, right? So it's more like a deeper engagement on that part. But again, to answer your part, I think it's everything. It's also mixed media, right? It's banner. It can be banner. It can be video. It can be social. Again, social in Thailand, right? We are probably the fastest growth in terms of the social audience, right? So again, social media definitely helps, but they are more than just social, right?
Okay, so just to add to that, John, Jay, you were saying, since Google has got the entire portfolio in terms of a marketing mix for mobile, what would you be focused on as a strategy to start off with?
So for Google, we see as there's a few ways to think about the quality of a user acquisition channel, right? For me, one way to think about it is like how much user time does that does that channel command, and what mindset are users in when they're using that channel. So for us, like, we have search and display, banners, and video as well. They have their usage in different, for video, for example. When people are watching YouTube, they're in a mindset to be entertained and to be informed. So that's one reason why we've seen that YouTube does very well with games and entertainment apps. For shopping, e-commerce apps, if your mobile app has a clear proposition where you might need to explain how your business works, video is one platform where it's very, very effective in communicating how your business and how your app works for the user. And we've seen pretty significantly higher lifetime value from mobile installs as well, because we see that when people install from video, they know roughly what they're getting into. So then the retention rate is quite good. For search in e-commerce, it allows us to be able to track people who are looking for specific items and products. So we're able to know what their intentions are. And therefore, usually the conversion rates on search is very, very good.
Okay, perfect. So now that we've got an understanding that, okay, what channels you use, I would like to ask Nuttaputch from an app developer's perspective, what are the different strategies you would use in terms of getting these downloaded users or these users to, with discounts or with referrals? What would be the strategy with that to get them to share it and increase the virality?
When we talk about strategy, it's about, and one is like a template that, okay, people can copy it. But the reason when we do the DTAC apps, there are many stages. Right now, DTAC apps has run more than 1.9 million downloads. The stage of the app is very mature. But if we want to gain more download, we have to assess that why. I get back to my answer from the last question. That why people didn't download apps. And we find that, okay, because these people, they are very new to their mobile phone, they didn't understand well. So we back to what you said, what Jay said, that, okay, we use a lot of information. So the strategy is, the role of marketing is to influence people. So we use a lot of media and channels to educate people from this target to understand that why you have to download the apps. This is different from the phase in the previous phase, because in the early stage we talk to the early adopters. Early adopters, we don't have to educate much. They want to download it. They're willing to try it. So it's different. So when I recommend, when I answer to this question, I will say that assess to the situation first. Assess to the situation that, okay, who are we aiming to download the apps or to use the service, and then assess what media and communication that can influence them to download it. I think that's the key.
Okay, perfect. So, You Teck, when you gave me your business card, at the back of your business card was a coupon code offering 20% off on a booking. Yeah. So, how important do you think is this referral program or these promo codes to get the first customer to purchase as a marketing strategy?
So I think promo codes are widely used against almost in all of the platforms out there. Hotel Quickly, Airbnb, Uber, Grab Taxi, right? From the way we look at it is that if we just look at performance basis, it's actually our strongest channel right now. And if we think about why, it's purely because other than, both set of users actually get an incentive if they make an action. I think it's also because it reduces that friction of trust. Imagine today, you invite a friend to sort of do something, and then he know that, hey, you're actually giving me an additional benefit. That's already that reduction in friction itself. We know that, okay, it's actually quite safe because my friend probably used the service. Okay, and now there's an additional incentive to it. That's good. Compared against like, if we just try to run like a pure awareness app, we want to make you aware that, hey, there's this hotel cookie out there, and do you want to sort of make a booking with that? When we actually use referral, a double loop referral itself, we saw that the performance is actually really, really strong.
So just to add, so you're saying that trust is a very important factor when it comes to virality and sharing the app. Coming back to the point, what are your thoughts on, Jay, what are your thoughts in terms of a lot of m-commerce players are using push notification and marketing automation to get a lot of users on board. Like once they have the app, in order to engage and re-engage, they use a lot of push notifications and so on. What are your thoughts on this and how it affects a marketing strategy?
Yeah. So with push notifications and or email to your client list, these things all e-commerce apps should do, right? It's free. You have the database of your current users already, and what it does is it increases the lifetime value of the users that you have acquired. So while maybe giving a first-time discount for an install will get users to use your app, but once they've used your app once, I mean statistically we've seen anywhere from like 80 to 95% of all app installs, the app that is downloaded is abandoned after the first month. So how do you get those users back into your app? So usually what we have seen that works well is to segment your users into high value and low value. These high value users, they will be more interested in things like discounts or flash sales that happen, while lower value segment users may be more interested in things like free shipping, things that reduce the risk for them in order to make a transaction.
Okay, perfect. So now that we've discussed in terms of discount and offers, I would want to point towards retargeting. So retargeting is something very key because Jay had said 90% of the users who download the app don't go past 1 month. And how do you retarget these users to get them back on the App Store? John, can you elaborate?
So from the like reaction perspective, I think we look at multiple things that reflect into the how we target it. I think the first one is the believe it or not on creative itself. I think creative is something that not much many people talk about, right? But again, creative can basically bring in the same audience back to where we want them to be, right? Creative means customized creative, mean that customized message, mean customized audience. So I mean we look at different levels of providing a different kind of creative to a different kind of people. Again, how do we know that? Again, it's from back to the turbine that we have, right? So imagine that we can basically tell that this person is, for example, male, right? And he actually loves sports, right? And basically he also loves to watch news, stuff like that, right? So in the message itself, we can provide a more like a flavor, to tell them that you should come and visit this app again or whatever, And in terms of the re-engagement, we want them to know that once they come to the app, right, we can provide the following call to action, So again, different creative itself and the platform that we have data, right? Also on the fact that the feature, for example, that we're going to announce later on, which is click to call, something that we want to make sure that this is it's going to be a feature that people will use. Click to call is something that very old, but we can enhance it in such a way that it becomes more action.
Cool. So Nuttaputch, since you have a lot of apps, you have around 1.9 million users on your app. How do you use DTAC's core business, which is the phone, the telecom operator, to cross-sell and market this? Or is there a possibility for e-commerce players to use this as a marketing tool?
You mean the DTAC apps, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the DTAC apps. I think the key objective when we set up the apps is to become a digital touch point for user can they do a self-service to using and maximize the benefit using our operators. And when the user log in, they can find, we try to add more contextual things. So the users can easily find and discover their best deal or their best discount or best package, what it is, from the DTAC apps. They can control the things. We use our data a lot. We use a lot of data inside company to find that, okay, what is the best experience that we would want to offer to users through the app. So it is these things keep and the most, I think from this is for me, the more interesting data that I got is that the users who use the apps has less churn than the others.
So, yeah, so you're saying you ideally would want to build an ecosystem around
Yeah.
your users and will put them in a complex where you can cross-sell and target to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Hotel Quickly, how important is retargeting? Now that you've been in the business for so long, how important is retargeting?
It's actually a very big portion of our resources dedicated into retargeting itself. From an app perspective, like what the other panelists shared as well, is that what I observed is that retention rate can be pretty crappy if you don't sort of re-engage these users. And subsequently, active users who have been a fan of your app for a long time, they can go dormant as well for some reason, right? It's like they don't have a use for it. And we look at retargeting in a lot of different formats itself. The first is ads, which we run a lot of different retargeting for different user segments. For users who dropped out of the cut, of course, we will run retargeting for that. For users who did not complete certain actions within the app, which we believe would turn them into an engaged users, we try to run a different kind of ads for them as well. So, and of course, there's the marketing automation piece, whereby we sort of built around push notifications and email to sort of re-engage these users. I think sooner or later, like a lot of companies will be using email to retarget users who uninstall the app as well, because this data is going to be available. And I think that would be like something that would be up and coming. Yeah.
Okay, guys, I think we have just 2 minutes left. Let's open it out for questions. Does anybody have questions?
Hi, guys. I'll ask question to make it interesting. I think it's the first and only question of the day, right? Yes. Only one.
Only one.
Where are you guys going out tonight? No, I'm joking. So with the Indonesian market, e-commerce market growing rapidly in, over there, where do you see like the second boom happening? Here in Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia? Be happy to hear your thoughts.
Do you want to take that? Okay, so from my personal opinion, I think Thailand is one of the biggest growing market because there's highest penetration of 3G here and there's a lot of mobile consumption content here. So I think this is one of the growing markets after Indonesia, given the penetration of mobile phones and so on.
And the market size, yeah.
Yeah, and the market size.
In the past, I guess 5 years, we have seen the first, I guess, social commerce, right, happen in Thailand when, I guess, and Sogo launched in the market, right? I think that wave actually create a demand, from the market. I mean, people are become more brave to use online, especially on apps, right, to purchase things. So I think that helps the industry a lot. Right. Plus the fact that, again, social media is the biggest part of Thai people, right? So, lots of people are trying to, I guess, become the first mover, in this industry. You will see that a lot of players start to come into Thailand. What else?
I think Thailand is a good bet. It will always be among the top countries in terms of market in Southeast Asia, and given, like, despite all the economic outlook of Thailand, regardless of what the macroeconomic situation of the country looks like, Thai people love mobile. It's Southeast Asia as a whole, and Thailand especially, is mobile first. Right? There are more people using smartphones now than desktops in Thailand. And in terms of search volume, mobile search volume has overtaken desktop as of a year ago. And so with e-commerce, people are moving more and more to this space. We see a lot of traditional retailers starting to feel like they need to be in e-commerce and mobile commerce in Thailand.
Perfect. I think that's it, time's up. So thank you guys for participating. Thank you everyone. Have a nice evening.
Thank you to our panelists on mobile marketing strategies for success in e-commerce apps. And I would like to call on Mr. Raja Manoharan of AdAtha to present the tokens of appreciation and to take a selfie with our wonderful panelists.